So could the dream soon be over for 800,000 young undocumented immigrants, some maybe 200,000, I guess, here in California?
Sources say President Trump will call for the end of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. USC professor of political science Ange-Marie Hancock Alfaro joins us this morning to talk about the ramifications. Good morning, Dr. Alfaro.
Good morning.
The DACA program was implemented during the Obama era. What does President Trump hope to accomplish by ending DACA?
I think President Trump has two objectives. One, of course, this is something that he promised during the campaign season, so he's keeping a campaign promise to many of the people who voted for him. And the second thing is to really force Congress to do its job, as he tweeted out earlier this morning. We've been trying to get comprehensive immigration reform for over 10 years, back when President George W. Bush tried to get it done when he was president.
Well, you have people from the president's own party saying, don't do this, don't end DACA. You have Senator Jeff Flake from Arizona saying, don't do it. Well, do you see the possibility of Republicans finally stepping up and getting Congress to implement it?
Well, I think there's actually already two bills on the table. And so those Republicans who don't want it ended don't want there to be 6 months of limbo for kids, who were brought here by their parents, who through no fault of their own, other than, kind of coming as babes in arms or as 5 and 6 and 7 and 8-year-olds, don't have any, kind of fault in why they came to this country without papers.
Now, who does this affect?
This affects a number of different groups. So often we think about the kids who came, the kids who are going to college. There are tens of thousands who are working, who are able to work and contribute to our economy. And also there are some in the military who have signed up, and registered with the promise they would be able to serve in their military and serve our country with distinction, who all might lose their ability to work and go to school if this is ended over the next 6 months.
Do you see the possibility of the federal government using the very information that these people gave the feds under protection promises against them for deportation?
Unfortunately, yes. And we already have documented evidence of that. We've had dreamers who were registered who were already picked up by immigration here in Los Angeles, in the South. So we have evidence that they're already using that evidence that was given as a kind of a promise, right, of good faith against them.
So what does Congress have to do in the next 6 months? What does it have to get done?
Well, there are two bills that are on the table, one in the House and one in Congress, one in the Senate, that are actually designed to put into law what DACA was originally intended to do by executive order. But of course, that would require everyone to get on board, and for certain Republicans not to hold it up. And I think all of the Democrats are kind of on board with making sure that this can get done, so this population of immigrants doesn't end up getting deported.
While we wait for that, and this is all assuming, by the way, that President Trump, if he ends DACA, will give a 6-month kind of period of waiting for Congress to act. Is there any solution in the courts? Temporary restraining orders, injunctions?
There are injunctions that could be prepared, and some of the leading legal advocates would want to step in at this point and see if they could delay. And the delay could mean a couple of different things, right? The delay could mean nobody else can apply, for DACA, or it could mean everybody is stripped of their status. So it also depends on what the announcement says today as to what kind of legal remedies would exist.
Dr. Alfaro, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.